Hello. Welcome back to Everwise English. I'm Mario, and I am so happy you're here with us today. Did you wake up this morning and have a good breakfast? I hope so. I hope you're comfortable right now, wherever you are. Maybe you're having your coffee. Maybe you're on a walk. Maybe you're at home with your family. Wherever you are, I'm glad you chose to spend this time with Bella and me.
Yes. Welcome, friends. I'm Bella, and you know what? I just remembered something really nice this morning. I thought about a trip I took with my family last summer. And that made me smile for the whole morning. It was such a good memory. We were in the mountains, and we were all laughing together, and I remember feeling so happy, so peaceful. And this morning, when I remembered it, I felt that same happiness again.
Oh, I love that. You know, that's actually what we are talking about today. Today, we are learning how to talk about our best moments in English, our happiest memories, our favorite times with family, or friends, or maybe even alone doing something we love. And here's the beautiful thing. Many times, we have these wonderful memories inside our hearts, but we don't know how to share them with other people, especially not in English.
Exactly. And here's the thing, many of our friends learning English, they tell us, I want to tell my story, but I don't know the right words. They say, Mario, Bella, I have this beautiful memory, but I feel shy. I don't know how to start. I don't know the phrases. So today, we are going to make this very, very easy for you.
Yes. We are going to give you the words. We are going to give you the confidence. And we are going to show you that sharing your best moments in English is not difficult. It's actually very natural. Let's start with one simple phrase right now. When we want to talk about a happy time, we often say this, I have such a good memory of. Let's say it together, slowly. I have such a good memory of. This is a very friendly way to start telling someone about something happy. It's warm. It's natural. It sounds like you're talking to a friend.
Yes. For example, I would say, I have such a good memory of playing with my grandchildren in the park. See? Simple. Warm. Natural. You can use this for anything. A moment with your family. A moment with a friend. A moment where something good happened to you. I have such a good memory of.
And that's exactly what we are doing today. We are going to give you all the phrases, the easy words, and the confidence to share your best moments with anyone. In English. Are you ready? Do you feel excited? Now, let me ask you something. When you try to talk about a happy moment in English, what happens? Many times, learners tell us, I know the memory in my head, but the English words, they don't come. I get confused. I mix the times. I say it wrong. I don't know how to start. I get stuck. Does that sound like you? Do you know that feeling?
I remember my friend, Maria. She wanted to tell her English class about her wedding day. She had this amazing story. She said to me, Bella, I want to share, but I get so nervous. Should I say it happened? Should I say it's happening? I don't know the correct grammar. And then she stopped talking. It was sad. She had such a beautiful story, but she didn't share it. And everyone missed the chance to hear something wonderful.
This is very, very common. I hear this from many, many people. The problem is not your memory. Your memory is beautiful. Your story is important. The problem is that we don't have the simple pattern, the easy shape, to follow. And that makes us scared. We think, if I don't say it perfectly, people will judge me. And so we stay quiet.
Exactly. But here's the good news. There is a simple pattern. And once you learn it, you can use it forever. You can share any memory, any time, any place. And it will sound natural.
We have a super simple pattern. Listen carefully. I remember when. This is easy. This is the beginning. I remember when I was. Or I remember when I met. Or I remember when I learned. This phrase helps you start. You don't need anything complicated. Just say it slowly. I remember when.
And then, after you start, you can use this, it was so. And then you add a feeling word. Like, it was so happy. It was so special. It was so exciting. It was so peaceful. Simple, yes. You take a feeling, and you make a sentence. Everyone understands. Everyone feels what you felt.
And you know what? When you use these patterns, people don't care about perfect grammar. They care about your story. They want to hear your happiness. They want to know what you experienced. They want to feel what you felt. The grammar is not the most important thing.
Right? Your feelings are more important than perfect English. Always. I've met people who speak English perfectly, but no one listens to them. And I've met people who make some mistakes, but everyone listens because their heart is in their words. So don't worry about perfection. Worry about honesty.
Okay, so let's talk about how to actually start. When you want to tell someone about a best moment, you need a good beginning. Not too fast. Not too complicated. Not too formal like a book. Just smooth. Like you're talking to a friend who you trust.
I think the best way to think about this is to imagine you're telling a very good friend. Not a teacher checking your grammar. Not a test. Not a formal interview. Just a friend who you love and who wants to listen to you. Someone who cares about you. That's your audience in your mind.
So here's what we do. We start with this phrase, I had an amazing experience when. Let me say that again, slowly, so you hear every word. I had an amazing experience when. This tells people, something wonderful happened to me. I want to tell you about it. Are you ready? It's a beautiful way to begin.
Listen, friends. You try it now. Say it with us. I had an amazing experience when I. And then you finish with your own moment. Maybe, when I got my first job. Or when I learned to cook. Or when I met my best friend. Or when I traveled to another country. Finish it with something real from your life.
Now, here's another beautiful one. One of my favorite memories is. This is like saying, let me share something special with you. Something I hold in my heart. It's warm. It's personal. It's like you're opening a door and inviting someone inside. Like, one of my favorite memories is when my daughter was born. Or one of my favorite memories is when I graduated from university. Very warm. Very true.
And if you want to make it even nicer, you can say, I'll never forget the day when. This means, this moment was so important, I will remember it forever. Even when I'm very old, I will still remember this. Like, I'll never forget the day when I passed my English exam. Or I'll never forget the day when I heard I got the job I wanted. It shows that the memory is deep. It's meaningful.
Let me show you how these three phrases sound in a real conversation. Imagine two friends talking. They haven't seen each other in a long time. One friend asks a question.
So, how was your weekend? Did anything special happen?
Actually, yes. I had an amazing experience when I visited my grandmother. One of my favorite memories is when she taught me to make her special soup. I'll never forget how happy she was when I tasted it and said it was delicious.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Tell me more. How did you feel?
See how natural that sounds. We are not using difficult words. We are not using complicated grammar. We are just using our 3 phrases, and suddenly, the story flows. It's alive. It's real.
And notice, the other person is interested. The other person wants to hear more. That's what happens when you start your story with these phrases. People become curious. People become interested in you.
That's the power of a good beginning. When you start with one of these 3 phrases, you're saying to people, I have something to share. I have something worth your time. And people listen.
And you know what else? These phrases work in every situation. In a job interview, you can say, one of my favorite memories is when I worked on. In a class, you can say, I'll never forget the day when. With a new friend, you can say, I had an amazing experience when. The phrases are the same. Only the memory changes. And you know what else? These phrases work in every situation. In a job interview, you can say, one of my favorite memories is when I worked on. In a class, you can say, I'll never forget the day when. With a new friend, you can say, I had an amazing experience when. The phrases are the same. Only the memory changes.
So now you have your beginning. You have 3 choices. 3 ways to start. And you can use any of them. The best one is the one that feels most natural to you. The one that feels most like you.
Okay, so you've started your story. Now you need to describe the moment. What did you see? What did you hear? What did you smell? What did you feel inside your body? What was in your heart? This is where your story becomes beautiful. This is where people really understand.
Right. And here's the thing. You don't need complicated words. You don't need fancy vocabulary. You need feeling words. Emotion words. These are the most important. Because when you tell people how you felt, they feel it too. They don't just understand your words. They understand your heart.
Listen to this very carefully. It was so plus a feeling word. For example, it was so beautiful. It was so exciting. It was so peaceful. It was so funny. It was so quiet. It was so loud. You just pick one feeling, and your sentence is perfect. It's complete. It has power.
And if you really, really want to show how special it was, if you want to go deeper, you can say, I felt so, plus an emotion. Like, I felt so proud when I finished my test. Or I felt so loved when my family surprised me. Or I felt so nervous but also excited. This tells people exactly what was in your heart at that moment. Not just what you saw, but what you felt.
Here's one more that's very, very useful. There was something magical about that moment because. Now, magical here doesn't mean real magic with wizards and spells. It means special. Wonderful. Hard to explain, but you remember it forever. Like you're under a spell. Like everything just felt right.
Let me act out a small scene so you hear how these sound together. Let's say someone is telling me about graduating from school. They just finished, and they're excited to share.
So you graduated last month, yes?
Yes. I remember when I walked across the stage. It was so emotional. I felt so proud. My hands were shaking. There was something magical about that moment because my family was watching, and they were clapping, and everything felt perfect. I remember thinking, I did it. I really did it.
Oh, I have goosebumps now. That is so beautiful. How does it feel now, looking back?
Did you hear? We use the feeling words, we use the emotion words, and suddenly the story is alive. The person listening can almost feel what I felt. They can see my family clapping. They can feel my pride. They can see my hand shaking.
That's the power of these phrases. You're not trying to be a poet. You're not trying to impress anyone with fancy language. You're just being honest about your feelings, and that's what moves people. That's what makes them care.
And here's something important. When you use these feeling words, you don't need to use very all the time. You don't need to say, it was very, very, very beautiful. Just say, it was beautiful. The word has power by itself. It was magical. I felt proud. Simple is powerful.
Yes. And you can also use these phrases even if the memory is not totally happy. Maybe it was sad. Maybe it was scary. You can say, it was so scary. I felt so nervous. There was something strange about that moment. Because memories are not always happy, and that's okay. You can describe any memory, any feeling.
That's beautiful. Because life is not always happy, and we need to be able to talk about all our feelings. The sad ones, the scary ones, the confusing ones. And all of these phrases work for all of them. Now, here's something beautiful that a lot of people don't think about. Your best moment from the past, it doesn't just live in your memory like a photograph. It teaches you something. It changes you. It shapes who you are now. And when you share it, you can tell people what it means to you today. Not just what happened, but why it matters.
You know, I still remember the first time I taught a class in English. I was so nervous. I thought, I cannot do this. My English is not perfect. What if the students laugh at me? What if I don't know the answer to a question? I was so scared that I almost said no. But I did it anyway. And now, 15 years later, I teach every day because that one moment taught me that I am brave. So when I talk about that memory, I often say, that moment taught me something very important.
Exactly. And the phrase we can use is, that moment taught me that. This is so powerful. Because you're connecting your past to who you are now. You're showing people how you've grown. Like, that moment taught me that I am stronger than I think. Or that moment taught me the importance of family. Or that moment taught me to never give up.
And you can also say, ever since that day, I. This shows how the moment changed your life after it happened. It shows that the moment didn't just happen and then disappear. It stayed with you. It changed you forever. Like, ever since that day, I've been more confident in my abilities. Or ever since that day, I appreciate my mother more than I ever did. Or ever since that day, I'm not so afraid to try new things.
Here's another beautiful one. I'm grateful for that memory because... Grateful means very thankful, very appreciative, very humble about what you received. Like, I'm grateful for that memory because it reminds me what's important in life. Or I'm grateful for that memory because it showed me what real friendship is. This phrase shows deep feeling. It shows you've thought about this memory many times.
These connecting phrases are so important because they show people that you're not just telling a story to entertain them. You're sharing something that has meaning. You're showing them who you are. You're showing them how you think. How you feel. What matters to you.
And that's when people really, really connect with you. Not because you use perfect English, but because you're honest. Because you're real. Because you're showing them your soul, a little bit.
Okay, Let me slow down here and show you how all of this works together in a real conversation. Two people are talking. One person has just finished telling a beautiful memory about traveling with a friend to a new country. Listen carefully to all the phrases.
That sounds like it was incredible. What did that trip teach you?
Well, I had this amazing experience when I went to Japan with my best friend. It was so exciting. I felt so alive. There was something magical about that moment because we didn't know the language, and we didn't know the city, but we were not scared. We were brave. And that moment taught me that I can do things that seem impossible. Ever since that day, I dream about traveling more. And I'm grateful for that memory because it showed me that the world is so big and beautiful, and I'm brave enough to explore it.
That's so inspiring. You were changed by that trip.
And notice, friends, that this person didn't just tell a story. They told a story that meant something. That showed growth. That showed change. That showed the person who they are now. This is the deepest kind of sharing. This is why people remember you.
When you can do this, when you can connect your past to your heart today, that's when people really, really understand who you are. Not just what happened to you, but who you are as a person. Now, I want to tell you a real story. This is a true story about a woman named Elena, and how one special memory changed everything for her and her family. This is a story about remembering, and sharing, and love. And I want you to listen closely because Elena uses many of the phrases we've learned today.
I love this story. I've heard it before, and I still get emotional every time. Let's listen together. Mario, go ahead.
Elena is 58 years old now. She lives in Mexico City. She has 3 grown children and 5 grandchildren. But there was a time, about 10 years ago, when her family was not so close. They lived far apart. They didn't call very much. They didn't visit. Everyone was busy with their own lives. Everyone was working. Everyone had their own problems. And Elena felt sad about this. She felt like something was missing. She felt like her family was breaking apart.
But something changed.
Yes, something changed. One day, Elena's oldest daughter called her on the phone. And she said, "Mama, I want to ask you something. I want to know about your childhood. I want to know about the house where you grew up. I want to know about your mother, my grandmother, and what she was like. I want to know about our family history." And Elena didn't know why her daughter was asking, but she said yes.
Oh, she wanted to know the family history.
Exactly. But Elena didn't just tell facts like a history book. She told a story. A real, beautiful story from her heart. She said, "I have such a good memory of being in my mother's kitchen when I was a little girl. She was making her famous mole sauce. It took her all day, many hours. And I remember the smell, like chocolate and spices and peppers and love all mixed together. I felt so peaceful in that kitchen. There was something magical about that moment because my mother was singing while she cooked, and she was happy, and I knew I was completely safe."
Did the daughter listen?
The daughter listened. And then she asked for the recipe. And then she asked Elena to teach her. So Elena and her daughter spent a whole day together, the first whole day in 3 years, making this mole sauce. They were together for 8 hours. And while they cooked, Elena taught her daughter about their family, about her mother, about the tradition, about why this sauce was important, about what was important in life.
And then?
And then, Elena's daughter told her brothers. She told them the story. She said, "Mama taught me grandmother's recipe. But more than that, she taught me who we are, where we come from, what our family values." And her brothers wanted to learn too. They wanted to hear the stories. They wanted to be part of something bigger. So 3 months later, Elena invited the whole family, all 3 children, all 5 grandchildren, to her house in Mexico City.
Everyone came.
Yes, everyone came. And Elena said something very beautiful to them. She said, in her best English, "I want to share my family story with you. One of my favorite memories is making this sauce with my mother when I was a little girl. That moment taught me that family is everything. That memory is in my heart every day. And now, I want you to know that too. I want you to feel what I feel. I want you to understand who we are." And then they all cooked together.
Tell me they all came. Tell me they cooked.
They all came. And they cooked together. The kitchen was full of people. There was laughter. There were questions. There was love. And Elena told them stories. About her childhood. About her mother. About the meaning of the recipe. It was so beautiful. The whole family was together again. Connected again. Because of one memory. Because Elena found the courage to share.
And what happened after?
Well, they still cook together. Every year now, the whole family comes to Elena's house, and they make the mole sauce together. And while they cook, they share memories. Grandparents share with grandchildren. Parents share with their children. And the children are learning not just the recipe, but who they are, where they come from, what it means to be a family.
This is such a beautiful story. And do you see, friends, how Elena used the phrases we learned today? She said, "I have such a good memory." She said, "There was something magical about that moment." She said, "That moment taught me." And because she shared, in English, in Spanish, in her heart, her whole family became close again. The recipe brought them together. But the story is what held them together.
You know what Elena told me? She said, "My memory was not perfect. I didn't use perfect English. But when I shared my heart, my family understood. And that's all that mattered. My love was stronger than my mistakes."
Your memories are not just yours. They are gifts. They are invitations to let people into your heart. They are bridges that connect people to each other. And when you share them, in English, with the right words and the right heart, you connect. You heal. You bring people together. That is the power of talking about your best moments.
And that's why we wanted to teach you this. It's not just about English. It's about being human. It's about sharing who you are. Okay, friends. Now it's time for you to practice. But don't worry. We are going to do this together. Slowly. Gently. And I'm going to show you exactly what to do. Are you ready? Do you have a comfortable place to sit? Maybe grab some water. Take a deep breath. You're going to do great.
Yes. Let's practice these beautiful phrases. And remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be honest. You just need to try.
Okay, let's start with the beginning phrases. I'm going to say a situation, and you try to use one of our starter phrases. Let me say it first, so you hear what it sounds like. Then you repeat. The situation is, you want to tell someone about the day you learned a new skill, maybe cooking, or dancing, or speaking English. Here's how I would start. I remember when I first learned to cook paella. I was so nervous, but my grandmother was patient with me.
Now you try. Say, "I remember when I first." And fill in your moment. Take a few seconds. Think about your own life. What's a moment when you learned something new? Something you were proud of. Maybe you learned to ride a bicycle. Maybe you learned a new language. Maybe you learned to play an instrument. Think of that moment. Now say it. I remember when I first. Go ahead. Say it out loud. Good. Good. Slow. Beautiful. Very good.
That's right. You did it. That's beautiful. I heard you. And you didn't make mistakes. You made words. You made meaning. That's what matters.
Now, let's practice describing the moment. Remember the phrase, "It was so." Let me show you. I'm going to start a sentence, and you finish it with a feeling word. I'm going to say, "When I saw my new baby for the first time, it was so." And you complete it. You can say, beautiful, amazing, emotional, perfect, overwhelming, wonderful, whatever you feel. What would you say? Say it out loud. It was so. Yes. Your answer is perfect. There's no wrong answer. Any feeling is the right feeling because it's your feeling.
Now, let's try the emotion phrase. Say after me, I felt so. Now, I'll give you an example situation. You finish it. The situation is, you got a phone call with good news. Maybe someone called to say they love you. Or someone called to offer you a job. Or someone called to say they miss you. So you would say, when I got the phone call, I felt so. What would you say? Happy, surprised, grateful, relieved, excited, loved. All of these are beautiful. Choose one. I felt so. Yes. Perfect. Did you hear how natural that sounded?
Now, the big one. This is the important one. You're going to use all of these together. I'll set a scene, and you tell me a memory using at least 2 of our phrases. Ready? Here's the scene, you talking to a friend. They ask, what's a memory from your childhood that makes you happy? A memory you still think about.
Listen to how I would answer. I have such a good memory of playing in the park with my friends when I was 8 years old. It was so fun and so free. I felt so young and happy and alive. That moment taught me the importance of friendship and enjoying simple things. Did you hear? I used 4 phrases, and it sounds like a real, complete story. It has a beginning, it has feelings, it has meaning.
Now, you try. Answer this question in your own words. Use at least 2 of our phrases. Think about a memory from your childhood. Make it slow. Make it clear. And say it out loud. Don't be shy. This is practice. This is for you. This is not a test. It's practice. You're safe here with us. Go ahead.
Long pause for listener to think and speak. Beautiful. Truly beautiful. Did you hear how naturally that came out? You did that. You created that moment with words. You brought your memory to life with English. That's what an English speaker does. Not a perfect speaker. A real speaker.
One more. This is the last one. This time, use the connecting phrase. That moment taught me. Or ever since that day, I. This is the one that shows how the memory changed you. I'll start. Years ago, I had to give a presentation at work, and I was terrified. I thought everyone would judge me.
Now you finish, using one of our connecting phrases. That moment taught me. Or ever since that day, I. Go ahead. You are ready. I believe in you. Finish the sentence.
Pause for listener, you did it. You really did it. Did you feel how strong that became? How meaningful? Because you connected the past to who you are now.
You know what? You just did it. You just spoke about your best moments in English. Not perfectly. Better, naturally. Like a real human. Like a friend talking to a friend. That's what we were looking for. That's success.
Friends, before we say goodbye, let me just remind you of what we learned today. We learned so much.
Today, we learn how to talk about our best moments. We learn to start with phrases like I remember when, and I have such a good memory of. And one of my favorite memories is. We learn to describe our feelings with it was so, and I felt so. And there was something magical about that moment because. And we learn to connect our past to who we are now with that moment taught me. And ever since that day. And I'm grateful for that memory because.
And here's what's important. You don't need perfect English. You need honest English. You need true English from your heart. Because when you share a real memory, people listen. People care. People connect with you. They see you. They understand you. Not your grammar. You.
So here's our challenge for you this week. Your challenge phrase is this: I have such a good memory of. Pick one moment from your life, from this month, this year, or even from years ago. Something that makes you smile when you think about it. And I want you to practice saying it out loud. Not in your head. Out loud. Slowly. Many times. Until it feels natural. Until it feels like you.
And here's what I hope. I hope you'll share this memory with someone. Maybe with a friend. Maybe with a family member. Maybe at your English class. Maybe with a neighbor. Anyone. And I hope they hear not just the English. I hope they hear your heart in those words. Because that's what makes English beautiful. Not the words. The heart behind the words.
And if you do this, if you share a memory this week, maybe write a comment on our podcast page. Tell us, did someone listen? Did they ask you more questions? Did they feel your emotions? How did sharing make you feel? Did it feel good? Did it feel scary? Did it feel like freedom? We would love to hear from you. We really would.
You are doing something wonderful. You're learning English. But more than that, you're learning to share who you are. You're learning to be brave. You're learning to be vulnerable. You're learning to be human in a new language. And we are so proud of you.
And please, if this episode helped you, if you learned something, if you felt something, please subscribe to Everwise English Podcast. New episodes come out every week. We have more stories, more phrases, more practice waiting for you. More of Mario and Bella, here, ready to help you become more confident.
And if you loved this episode, share it with someone you know who's learning English. Send them the link. Tell them, listen to this. It helped me. It made me feel brave. Because when we learn together, we are stronger. When we share, we are braver.
And if you have a moment, even just 1 minute, please leave us a rating or a short review. Just one sentence. I loved this episode because. Or this helped me because. Or I shared a memory after listening, and. These reviews help other learners find us. And they make our day. They really do. We read every single comment.
Before we go, I just want to say this from my heart. Thank you for spending these 45 minutes with us. Thank you for opening your mind and your heart to learn. Thank you for being brave enough to practice. You are beautiful. Your stories are important. Your voice matters. And we believe in you. We really do.
So go out this week. Practice your challenge phrase. Share a memory. And remember, the world is waiting to hear your stories. In English. From your heart. Not from a textbook. From your heart. And we'll be here next week with more. More stories. More lessons. More support. Until then, be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself. You're doing better than you think. And keep speaking. Keep sharing. Keep growing.
Thank you so much for being here, friends. Take care of yourselves.
Be good to yourself. Goodbye.
Bye-bye, everyone. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.